What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm super excited. It's a special day, especially if you're a wedding DJ, because I'm gonna teach you how to book weddings using Instagram. Also, real quick, if you could do me a solid and hit the like button down there, it's gonna help my algorithm so more people can see this video. And if you don't subscribe, hit the subscribe button. It'll be worth it, trust me. So I was motivated to do this video because I recently deleted my Facebook last week. If you missed the video, it's right there. I made a video about it, why and whatnot, you know, I kind of go over that in the video. And I deleted my Facebook, and the biggest thing a lot of people kind of reached out and said to me was like, dude, like, I feel you, you know, like Facebook can be toxic, totally understand why you did it. You got balls, but like, how you gonna book weddings? Like, how you gonna, like, that's, like, how you gonna get gigs? How you gonna do it, dude? Like, what are you doing? You need Facebook. No, I don't. And I'm gonna tell you why. The why is Instagram. Truth be told, I book way more weddings on Instagram than I've ever booked on Facebook in my entire life. And that's because our target market is there. So I figured if people are asking those questions, they're probably missing a huge boat with Instagram. So I decided to put together this video and give you my top tips on how to use Instagram to your advantage to book tons of weddings in 2020, 2021, and beyond. So before I even start throwing these nuggets at you guys, let me talk about why Instagram is the #1 spot as of now to book weddings. I'll go down the list real quick, right? Twitter is for your thoughts. You're not booking weddings off of Twitter, especially if your thoughts don't align with others. You might have some thoughts that not a lot of people agree with or whatever, I don't know. TikTok is the future. A good future play, okay? Super new. You're not gonna book a lot of weddings off TikTok right now, but definitely know how TikTok works, understand that shit, make a profile, maybe make a few videos, have a good time with it, and be there and watch it grow. And I think there's definitely gonna be something in the future to do with TikTok, but not right now. So there's that. Now there is YouTube as well, and you can't go without mentioning YouTube. I mean, you're on YouTube right now. YouTube is probably the most used social media of all time. If you want to call it a social media, everybody uses YouTube. Even the old ass 75-year-old guy who lives in the middle of Nebraska who's super old school and hates social media, he'll still look up how to fix some kind of diesel engine on YouTube. He'll still look up how to do this on YouTube just as a how-to. Like, pretty much everybody's on YouTube for one way or the other. So don't sleep on YouTube. If you got value to give out to other people, do it. That's why I started this page, you know? So that's definitely something to consider and something that you could definitely book weddings off of. You know, posting vlogs, showing like what you do at your events, you know, maybe posting tips for others. That all kind of legitimizes you and could help you book weddings for sure. So, you know, YouTube's definitely a second place to Instagram in my opinion. And then there's Facebook. And Facebook, while super important and you can book events, and some people book more events than others depending on what kind of events you do, when it comes to the wedding game, I don't think it's super necessary and shouldn't be top of your list by any means. And a big argument that I got from a lot of DJs were saying that, well, who pays for the weddings? You know, their parents, and their parents are on Facebook. And that's a valid argument, I will say that. You know, statistically, as of now, 12% of couples pay for their weddings completely out of pocket themselves without any help from anybody else. So there's always another voice, another decision maker in there, right, when it comes to wedding budgets and whatnot. But my argument for that is when a couple has their eyes set on something, when they say, hey, we want this particular DJ, we want this particular photographer, and this is why, and they can point at the reasons why, their parents are gonna pay for it. They're not gonna tell them, oh, you have to use this person, unless there happen to be some weird family friend. But when it comes to DJs, you know, they're being valued more and more in our industry, in the wedding industry as a whole. And I personally think that the couple will, doesn't matter if they're paying or not, they're gonna have the ultimate decision of who they're gonna use to DJ their wedding. I mean, I think it's a super important aspect. People value that. People are more dialed into mixing and, you know, what we do. So what they say is gonna go. So my target market still is the actual couple, not the parents at all. I could, you know, not that I could care less about the parents, but I just don't cater my brand to them at all. They're not really in the equation with me. I cater my brand and what I do and what I post and what I put out there in general on the interwebs based on my target market couple. Those couples that are in between 22 and 35 years old. That whole age bracket right there, the most common ages where people get married nowadays. That's my target market right there, 100%. Now, when it comes to Instagram, what we're about to talk about now, every couple's on Instagram. It's at the point now where you're kind of weird if you don't have one. I mean, I haven't come across a couple that doesn't have an Instagram yet, but if I did, you know, I wouldn't say nothing, but in the back of my head, I'd be like, that's weird. Why wouldn't you have one? You know, the only real couples that don't have Instagrams, or when one or the other doesn't, is when their job dictates that. You know, I've had a couple couples, you know, where the groom might be in the FBI, or, you know, some kind of, you know, what do they call it? Classified type jobs where they can't really put their lives out there, so they won't have an Instagram or any social media presence because it's just a conflict of interest for their job. That's the only time you're really gonna run into couples that don't have them. I mean, it's just, everybody's on Instagram for a million different reasons, and I'm not gonna make this whole video about why Instagram's great. You know, just know Instagram's just shit. That's where the most couples are, and I'm gonna teach you how to get weddings from it. That's why we're here, people. So with all that being said, if you don't have an Instagram, holy shit, go make an Instagram right now. Pause this video, go sign up, okay? Put your little email in, put your Facebook login, whatever you gotta do, and make a damn Instagram. So the first tip I wanna give you about Instagram is a super important one, and that is dedicating your Instagram to your brand. I think it's super, super important you do this. I basically make a 95% rule, right? I think it's important to kind of include some personal stuff, right? Maybe a picture of you and your girl here and there, a picture of you and your family, or, you know, maybe a personal vacation, things like that, right? Show your human side. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do that about 5% of the time. The other 95% of my posts are targeted at my target market, at couples, right? Some way, shape, or form. It has to do with DJing, has to do with me DJing live, or what I'm doing at home, or me preparing, or me, you know, and something to do with my target market that they would find value in. You want to dedicate your page to that. Don't make your page just whatever the hell you want to post, right? Sometimes, all right, it's a weekend, I'm going to post a DJ pic. Here's my dance floor this weekend. But then on Tuesday, I'm going to post a meme about Trump or something. Like, you know what I mean? You want to stay away from politics, you want to stay away from memes, you want to stay away from dumb shit. Just dedicate your Instagram to your target market, which are couples that are getting engaged, or maybe getting engaged, or that are already getting engaged, or whatever. Those couples. Doing that prevents you from turning off any couples with any of your personal opinions or any bullshit. You don't want to do that, of course. That's why we don't talk about religion, politics, all this stuff. That's self-explanatory, right? But also, you're creating a resume. Instagram is laid out way different than other social medias, where like everything you post is right on the page. It can be pretty. It could just be it's just a wall of your posts, just everything right there. With a few swipes, you can see every picture you post in the last couple months. That's how Instagram works. That's how it's laid out. Whereas Facebook, you know, it's article. You go on your Facebook page and it's like, it's a lot of swipes to get to what you were posting last week, right? It's different like that on Instagram. So look at Instagram like your resume. It's your body of work. It's events you've done before. It's ways you've helped out the community. It's just everything targeted toward couples. And that's it. And it's super important you do this because there's a thing called IG stalking. Every couple does it. If they hear about you in any way through word of mouth, or maybe they seen you at a wedding DJ or whatever, they heard about you, the first thing they're gonna do is IG stalk you. They're gonna go to Instagram and they're gonna look up your name. They're gonna look up your company's name. Let me check out their Instagram. Let me see what that looks like. And then they're gonna base their opinion on you on that. It's your online resume. Everybody does it. Everybody. I do it all the time. That's literally what they do. So you gotta be prepared when they check out your page. And speaking about being prepared, another huge tip I can give you is post great content. Now, easier said than done, right? Oh, thanks, Nick, great tip. Post great content. Let me go do that, right? What is great content? A couple things to avoid. Don't post blurry pictures. Don't post shitty pictures. Don't post shitty videos. Make it look as professional as possible. It's 2020. You got a great camera in your pocket right now. iPhones with portrait mode take amazing photos. Androids take really... All right, if you don't have an iPhone, then you might need to buy a camera. Let's be honest, because those Androids take some you can tell every time it's an Android photo. Holy shit. Anyway, but regardless, make sure you're posting good content. Everything's out there. When you're done watching this video, you can search right up here on YouTube, right above me, and literally search how to take a great picture. A couple tips to take great pictures for amateurs. How to edit a picture for amateurs. It's really not as hard as you think. They give you a lot of great tips online to how to get the right angle, how to edit it the right way so it looks professional, and bam, you're good. You don't have to hire a photographer to do this sort of thing. You can teach yourself. That's what I did. And once you teach yourself, then you can teach your guys, and they can help you get content at your events and whatnot, and then it just keeps flowing. So just Google it, go on YouTube, learn how to get good pictures and good videos, because it's gonna help you in the long run. This is like building your resume on Instagram. This is all for the resume. So just learn, trust me, you'll thank me later. Now, when it comes to what to take pictures of, what to take videos of, it really depends on you. You gotta look yourself in the mirror and kind of figure out like what you're best at. Showcase your talents. Some people are great MCs. They're phenomenal on the mic. Record yourself on the mic at your next event, or maybe even, in your house or something, like messing around. I don't know, just try and showcase your best talents. If you're a great DJ, make mixes, make videos of little routines you're doing, film yourself live at an event DJing. Showcase what you're good at, and everything else will fall in place. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You know what I mean? You want to just showcase what you're good at. It's super tough for me to give you guys like a blueprint of what to take pictures of, because there really isn't one. It's kind of just on the fly. When I started out, I was doing a lot of dance floor pics, right? When I wanted to get Instagram content, right, this is early on, like 2015, 2014, I was like, all right, well, whenever I was at a wedding, I made sure I took a pic of my dance floor at some capacity. That was my thing, right? Started taking pics of my dance floor. Bam, I try to get it with their hands up, right? Play All I Do Is Win, hands up, and then bloop, 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 got my shot. That's what I started out with. Got tired of it, and you realize you kind of plateau, right? Like, I used to get a lot of likes on dancing photos, then, a lot of other DJs started doing it, and in general, that's all I did, so it got boring to people, and I started getting less likes and less engagement, so you kind of pivot. You gotta just evolve with it, and then I started getting more creative, pics of my setup, pics of, different angles, and you just gotta get creative at the end of the day. I really can't give you a blueprint. There's lots of tip videos as far as photography and how to take pictures and, what to take pictures of, that can really help you out, that I watch that help me out. I'm no professional. We're all creative people. We're DJs. Just really sit down and try and think of different ideas. Look to other DJs for inspiration as well. Follow other wedding DJs, that are killing it on Instagram, and see what they're doing, and, take it from there, and just try and create the best content possible. Another huge thing about posting content is consistency. You do want to stay consistent. Now, posting every day would be great, but quality over quantity is super, super important, and something you should keep in mind. So if you only have, so many great pictures, once a week's okay, twice a week, as long as you're building up your Instagram resume, and as long as you're not going weeks or months without any posts, because that looks bad. Again, you have potential clients that could be looking at your Instagram and they see that you haven't posted in 2 months. It's like, is this guy out of business? Is he still doing it or no? So you want to stay consistent enough where, you're relevant, you're still posting, you're still alive, but don't go overboard where the quality lacks, okay? So at least once a week. If you could do twice or 3 times a week, especially when you're busy and you're doing a lot of events, do that, but as long as you stay consistent. Now, there's 2 main ways to post content on Instagram, right? You have a post, a picture or a video that goes on your actual Instagram page, and then you have your stories. If you're not aware, Instagram stories are a way to post content that only lasts for 24 hours and then they disappear off your page. And the cool thing about Instagram stories is on average, they get 2 to even 3 times the engagement as a regular Instagram post. So it's a huge, huge opportunity that I think a lot of people miss. When it comes to Instagram stories, just like with the post, you gotta get creative with it. I think it's really good for, number one, behind the scenes, definitely off the cuff stuff, setting up, breaking down things that are going wrong along the day, or things that went right, or just what you're doing that day, maybe during the week, planning this, planning that, a funny story. I've been posting stories about me versus these sumbitch bees that always like to make nests outside my house. Dumb shit like that. You want to show your human side through the stories and really be authentic and really give them kind of behind the scenes. And I think it's a big opportunity because a lot of people will watch them, more people that will engage with your actual posts, and they kind of get like a glimpse of how you are, your personality, how you work, little tics that you have, things like that, and people really identify with that. Authenticity is currency nowadays. There's so much bullshit in this world that authenticity is absolutely everything. I mean, that's something that I base my entire YouTube page off of. Like, I always wanted to be my authentic self. I always wanted to, I don't care if I curse, I don't care if I say fuck, whatever. I always wanted to be my authentic self. I think it's super, super, super important. Don't fake the funk. You know, love yourself. Whatever your personality's like, just put it out there. There's always going to be people that hate you, but then there's always going to be people that kind of like you too. You know, it goes both ways. So you just don't sweat that stuff. Just put your full self out there. Don't put up no wedding DJ facade that I see people do. You know, I can see guys go on their stories or just even in their videos, like they'll do a vlog. Hi, I'm Nick Spinelli with the SCE Event Group, and today we're here at the beautiful Bradford Estate here in Hainesport, New Jersey, to celebrate the marriage of two incredible people. Let me tell you, Sean and Sarah. I mean, it's just so beautiful, and just everything's just beautiful. And did I say the venue's beautiful? Did I tell you it was beautiful? You're coming off like a robot, you know? You're just coming off like a robot. Just be yourself. And if that is yourself, that's fine, as long as you're being yourself. Don't put on an act, okay? If you talk like that in the camera and then go home and then you're like, hello, honey, what's for dinner? Oh my God, steak. You are the love of my life. And can I tell you how beautiful this plate is and how beautiful you are? Ah, what a just beautiful life I have. If that's what you're saying at home, behind closed doors, then sure, put it on there, okay? As long as you're being your true, authentic self, that's all that matters. Speaking about authenticity, let's talk about captions, right? And tagging and what to put with the photos that you post on your actual page, right? So I think captions are super important. Compelling captions increase engagement. I mean, it's a fact, you know, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. You know, you just got to get creative with it, like this whole entire thing. I keep saying get creative, but like it's true, you know, you just got to get creative. At the end of the day, you just got to think outside the box, right? But I try, it depends on the post, right? Sometimes you post a picture or video and you want to give it context, right? You might want to give a little background story. For example, one time I was DJing a wedding. The party was bumping, the dance floor was packed, right? And then all of a sudden they lifted the bride up in the chair above, right? Almost like a hora. But it wasn't a Jewish wedding. We didn't do a hora that day. But I got a really cool shot of the bride in the middle of the dance floor on a chair, like bugging out right up there. So I wanted to give that picture context. So I said something to the effect that, you know, crazy wedding last night, and just so you know, we weren't doing the horror here, this just happened, you know, type thing, right? Gave it context of like what the picture was about, what was going on in that picture. That's a good idea. Sometimes you can do a little one-liner, like a funny joke. Sometimes you can go more in depth. You know, as long as you're being authentic in the captions, right? Just like with everything else, just be authentic. Don't be super cookie cutter with the captions. You know, I see a lot of DJs there, you know, what a wonderful wedding. Thank you so much for having me. Congratulations, Sean and Sarah. If you do that every picture, you know, you can do it one picture, but don't do it every picture. You know, like change it up. Try and be more relatable. You know, I think people read these captions and they either identify with it or they don't, you know, and I think it's a super, super important aspect with posting. Now, all the tips we just talked about are how to build up your Instagram resume so you're ready. So when these influx of couples come in, when they Google you or search you on Instagram and check out your page, you're ready to go. You got a nice little resume up there where they can look like, all right, well, yeah, this guy's pretty cool. I can relate with this. Like, oh, this is a cool post. This is a really cool picture. Holy shit. That's a packed dance floor, like da-da-da, I want that at my wedding, right? So you're ready to go resume-wise. But how do you reach these couples? That's the major key, right? How do you reach these couples? How do you actually book weddings through Instagram? And the secret sauce is tagging. Every wedding I do, I try and get content from it, whether it's a video, whether it's a picture, whether it's multiple pictures, right? And I make sure I always tag it correctly. So there's a couple ways to do that, right? Hashtagging and also geotagging when you're at a certain venue, right? So that's the easiest one. Geotagging essentially is you take a picture and wherever that picture was taken, you can add the location, just like on Facebook. You can add the location right up there, right? It was taken at the Bradford Estate, it was taken at Clark's Landing, it was taken at Atlantic City Country Club, wherever the hell you're at, right? Bam. Now geotagging is super important, but it's not enough. In addition to the geotag, adding that location, you also want to hashtag your photo with the appropriate hashtags from that venue. So if you're at Atlantic City Country Club, hashtag Atlantic City Country Club and hashtag Atlantic City Country Club weddings. That's their hashtags. If you don't know what the hashtags are for that venue, it's super easy to look up. You just basically search in Instagram, hashtag and whatever the venue name is, and stuff will pop up and you'll be able to see who posted the most pictures under whichever hashtags. And I usually pick the top 2 hashtags, right? Those are the 2 main hashtags that are being used associated with that venue. So if you combine the hashtags from that venue with the geotags from that venue, now you are gonna be popping up in any searches that have to do with that venue. Just like a couple will Google or search you on Instagram when they hear about you, what do they do when they book their venue? They go to the venue, they love it, they end up booking, that's where they're getting married, right? They're so excited. They picked the spot that they're gonna throw the biggest party of their lives. They're pumped. What are they gonna do? What's the first thing the bride's gonna do? What's the first thing the groom might do? They're gonna go on Instagram and they're gonna search the venue's hashtags, the venue's geotags, everything and anything that was tagged with that venue's name, they're gonna search because they're looking for ideas. They're looking at how other people's weddings look there. They're looking at, different decoration ideas, flower ideas, different picture ideas, like a cool picture another couple might have gotten, with their photographer so they can show their photographer, hey, we want to recreate this. They're just looking for different ideas. And that is such a huge opportunity for us. If you tag your post right and you have good content, you're going to pop up in these searches, and then all of a sudden they're going to look and they're going to see a packed dance floor where their wedding's gonna actually happen. And it's like, wow, that's what I want. I want that exact dance floor at that exact venue where I'm having my wedding to be packed for my wedding. So this DJ did it already. Let me check out this DJ. And all of a sudden, people are checking out your IG resume. People are DMing you. Hey, do you have a little more information about you? Do you have pricing? Whatever. All of a sudden, you're getting hit up. This is how you are found. This is so important. I do this at every single venue I work at, and I always come back because I get found. You know what I mean? If your content is good and you're tagging it correctly, couples will find you. They will absolutely find you. And then once they find you and they go through your Instagram resume, they go through your Instagram page, they see your posts, they get excited. Wow. They start making up their mind before they even meet you, before they even talk to you or ask you a single question, DM you or anything. They start making up their mind already that, you know what, this is the DJ for me. I think this is the DJ I might want. So when you go to actually set an appointment with them, when you go to actually meet with them, they're more likely to book you because they already identified with you online. They already got to know your personality. They already saw your stories. They already saw your posts. They already saw what you're all about. So so many couples that I meet with say like, hey Nick, I feel like I already know you. Like, I watch your videos, I saw your little posts, I saw your stories, whatever. And that's such a cool thing. They know ahead of time that you fit in with their brand, with their family, with their friends, with what they want, their vision of their wedding. You're putting that all out there. And getting business this way is so valuable because you're getting business based on your skill, based on your personality, based on the brand you put out there, not based on price. And I think that's something that a lot of wedding DJs do as well. They'll get business based on price. Hey, we're doing a big special. They use their Instagrams and their Facebooks and everything else to sell. I just got engaged. We got a big special going on for only $19.95. You get this, and this. You're gonna get weddings that way. You will, but you're not gonna get the right weddings. See, when I started booking the majority of my weddings through Instagram and through social media and through them seeing my brand ahead of time, I noticed that like every couple I have is super cool, that we get along, that me and them are like the same people. It's just, we just vibe because they vetted me ahead of time. They vibed with me before they even hit me up. You know what I mean? Like if they didn't like me, they wouldn't have hit me up. And on the flip side, I'm sure there's plenty of couples that look at my page, maybe watch a video, watch me drop an F-bomb or something. They're like, oh yeah, we don't want this DJ. He's a little edgy for us, right? Which is totally cool too. And they never hit me up. So I may lose weddings, but at the same time, they weren't good fits for me. They weren't the right weddings, It probably wouldn't have worked out. They might have not been happy at the end of the day, Maybe I was too edgy for them, If they didn't know that and they just booked me based on price, then I got there and I did my best, but at the end of the day, they just didn't like my personality. They didn't like how I was on the mic. They didn't like how I was throughout the whole planning process. Like they just didn't vibe with me personally. They're not gonna be 100% happy, So doing it this way and actually booking events based on your brand, you're gonna get the right weddings and you're gonna get the best reviews. You're gonna have the best results. It's just gonna be the best time ever. I wanna work with couples that wanna work with me, not because of price, because of what I do, because of who I am as a person. When this started to happen, it literally just changed the game for me. It really did. Now, another super important hashtag to always use is your couple's hashtag. So if you take a picture at their wedding, make sure you use their hashtag when you're posting it because that's gonna expose you to their guests. If the couple has an official hashtag for their wedding, all the guests are gonna use it. You say it on the mic, right? They got little signs by the bar that are all cute. Make sure you hashtag if you're posting, yada, yada, yada. So So after the wedding, a lot of couples will go online, especially the younger ones, the ones in your target market, will go online, go to Instagram and search that hashtag and be like, all right, well, let me check out all the photos that were taken during the wedding, you know? So if you use their hashtag when you post a cool photo from their wedding, they're gonna look it up and find your page and be like, oh yeah, that's the DJ, he was pretty good. Look on your DJ page and then bam, now they're on your resume. Now you have new potential clients on your IG resume that may book you in the future. Maybe they got engaged, maybe they're planning on getting engaged. You know, you never know. And they already seen you live. They already seen what you do. So when it comes to them being interested, sitting down and meeting with you about their wedding, they've seen you live. They've checked out your photos and videos online. They literally know everything about you. They've seen it all. Literally, they've seen it all. I mean, it's just a done deal at that point then. If they are meeting with you, they obviously like what you do, like your brand, like your personality, like your talent, everything. It's a no-brainer. They're gonna book. Now, it's super important when you build up this perfect Instagram that you wanna put it out there. And I really, really recommend that you do on your website, on your Facebook, on wherever else you're at. Put your Instagram out there too. Hey, follow me on Instagram. Check out what I'm doing on Instagram, right? Make sure you promote it and everything. And even include it in your email signature and also in your email. So when I meet with a couple, I always send them an email after, right? Thanks for meeting with me. Here's a copy of the menu if we met virtually, right? Here's, you know, what we kind of went over, yada, yada, yada. And in that email, I always include my important links. A link to my Instagram, a link to my YouTube so you can check out my videos and stuff. And nowadays, a link to my Twitch if you want to see me live stream and stuff, which is like a newer thing. So you're inviting them to connect with you on Instagram. So if they end up booking you, they're gonna follow you on Instagram. So not only do you get the follow, right? But also they can now engage with your posts and watch what you're up to from now till their wedding. And it's super fun for them because like they're gonna identify with what you're doing. You're their future DJ. So if you post a picture of a packed dance floor, it's like, woo, oh man, can't wait for my wedding. You know, you'll get those little comments, can't wait, can't wait. And it's so valuable when your couples follow you because think about it. Let's say you post a cool picture, right? That they're like, oh my God, this is so cool. A lot of times they'll send it to their whole bridal party. You know, in Instagram, you could send a post via DM to their whole bridal party. Oh my God, look at my DJ, look what he just posted, or look at this video, he killed it, I can't wait for the wedding, I'm telling you it's gonna be crazy, guys, da 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 da. Now, her friends or his friends are following you. Now they're checking you out. Now you're on their radar when they get married. And then it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs until you're just getting hit up and filling your calendar. And because of all this, at the end of the day, putting in the hard work, building up your Instagram resume will pay dividends over and over and over again. It will snowball and it will get you a ton of business. So that's it, people. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, leave it in the comments. I'll get right back to you. And I'll see you guys next week.